In this lesson, we're going to be talking about settings that actually matter. To be honest with you, as a beginner, and this is talking from experience, there's no reason to go in and change settings 20,000 times in a hunt, dig into those menus deep. It only takes 3 basic settings for you to be successful, but you need to know how to adjust those right. And settings can feel overwhelming at times, especially when your detector has a lot of menus and a lot of buttons to push. But again, you only need to understand a few core settings to be successful. And that's what I'm going to focus on in this lesson. As a beginner, you want a stable machine, you want clear tones, and you want a program you can trust. And by programs, I don't mean going out and getting all these fancy programs that people have, changing all these different settings and things like that. But you want to choose a program or search mode on your detector that you can get familiar with. The point of this lesson is to avoid being overwhelmed, and that's what we want to get into here. So let's focus on the big 3. And the big 3 settings are sensitivity, your volume and your tones, and your ground balance. And I'll also include noise cancel in that as well. Now here's what I want you to think about when it comes to sensitivity. More is not always better. Oftentimes as a beginner, we want to get that deepest target, right? And we'll go out and we'll crank that sensitivity all the way up to max. But this hinders you more than it helps you. More isn't always better, and more can cause erratic signals and a lot of noise that you don't need. So my recommendation when it comes to sensitivity, don't max it out. When you first start out, run it at 70 to 80% of maximum. So when you're setting that sensitivity, adjust it so that you're getting some chatter and then back it off a couple of points. Believe me, when it comes to finding the targets, and the good ones especially, you want less noise and you want that stability. When it comes to the tone, volume, and options, always make sure that you have your volume loud enough so that you might be able to hear some faint signals, but not too loud. Also, if you can, use headphones or earbuds. Now, there's some machines out there that'll let you adjust tone pitch, but if that seems too overwhelming for you for now, leave it alone. And when it comes to ground balance, you can leave that on auto if you're not sure, or you can do a manual ground balance if your machine allows it. Now, to help you get the most out of those settings, you're going to want to work on your swing. Now, there's a whole module dedicated to basics as far as setting yourself up for success when it comes to your swing speed and how to swing your detector. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here, but let's move on. So let's talk about noise cancel and ground balance for a moment. Now, these are 2 things that as a beginner you can benefit tremendously from. There's EMI, there's interference from electrical power lines, air conditioners, Wi-Fi. There's a lot of things that can interfere with your detector, and that's where your noise cancel comes in. Now, some detectors automatically noise cancel when you turn them on, and others you'll have to go into the menu and actually do a noise cancel. It's not hard to do, but it is something that you should do, especially if you're around anything that's causing interference. Now, ground balance in a nutshell is just basically adjusting for soil mineralization. It helps your detector be in balance with the ground. That's a great way to put it simply. I'm not going to go into a lot of details about that. If you're hunting, especially in heavily mineralized soil, you want to make sure that you're doing these ground balances. And you may have to do it more than once in a hunt. So these 2 settings, noise cancel and ground balance, are going to help you tune your detector in to the environment that you're hunting and also with the soil. So don't be afraid to experiment with these 2 settings and use them as often as you need to. So with most detectors, there is a mode selection, and park mode can be your best friend. Depending on which detector you have, if there's a park mode, normally it's a good general all-around mode to hunt in for most areas. And it usually includes some iron discrimination in there that's already preset. So pick a mode that's on your detector, park, field, or if you're on a beach, choose beach mode, and stick with that mode and learn how it works for you. Right now, don't worry about notching and discrimination and custom modes and all that stuff that you may or may not be able to set in your detector. Start out simple. You'll learn faster by getting those repetitions in the field and not buried inside of some manual or watching 100,000 YouTube videos. And it goes without saying, I mentioned this earlier, but if you can, use headphones or earbuds if possible. You do want to be aware of your surroundings, so it depends on where you're hunting at. And some people just don't like using headphones at all. It's totally up to you. But it does help with hearing those fainter signals. Now, I do encourage you not to change all three variables at one time. Now, the noise cancel and the ground balance, normally you're going to do that at the beginning of the hunt. But when it comes to your sensitivity and your volume controls or pitch, if you have that, you don't want to do everything at once, because you want to be able to see what changing a specific setting is going to do for your detector. So if something feels off, adjust one thing and then test, whether that's your sensitivity or maybe you need to do another noise cancel or a ground balance. But do one thing and check it and see how that works out for you. Remember that confidence comes from you knowing what your machine is doing and not necessarily copying what someone else's settings are, because everyone's ground is different. Everyone's situation's different. Start with basic programs that are on your detector and build from there. So to wrap this up, I'd say this: build comfort and not confusion. The settings on your detector do not have to be overwhelming, and they don't have to be scary. Once you know what a stable signal sounds like on your detector, then you'll know what settings to tweak. And again, that's going to come with practice, and the more you practice, the faster you'll start to pick this stuff up. Now, in the next lesson, we're going to be getting into your swing. And we're going to talk about one of the most underrated things, and that's having a proper swing. So we'll get into that in the next lesson.